Many people look for peace in the world around them. They hope that if they fix their problems, change their jobs, or find the right relationship, they will finally feel calm. But true peace does not begin outside. It begins inside, with accepting who you are right now. Self-acceptance is not about giving up. It is not saying, "I will never change." Instead, it means seeing yourself clearly, without judgment. It means saying, "This is who I am in this moment," and being okay with that. When you stop fighting against yourself, you begin to find stillness. In our lives, we often compare ourselves to others. We think, "I should be more successful, I should be happier, I should be different." These thoughts create suffering. They pull us away from our own truth. They make us feel like we are not enough. But when you begin to accept yourself, something softens. You stop running. You stop pretending. You sit quietly with yourself as you are. And in that quiet, peace begins to grow. You may not like every part of yourself. That is normal. But you can still accept those parts. You can understand them. You can say, "Yes, this is a part of me. I don't have to hide it." In this moment, you are already whole. You do not need to become someone else to be worthy of peace. You only need to see yourself with honest eyes and a calm heart. Accepting yourself is the first gift you can offer to your soul. And once you accept yourself, you will find it easier to accept others too. Peace begins with this simple truth: you are enough. Many people spend their whole lives chasing something they call perfection. They believe that if they become perfect, if they look a certain way, act a certain way, or reach certain goals, they will finally feel happy. But this idea of perfection is an illusion. It is like trying to hold the wind in your hands. Perfection is not real. It is a picture created by the mind, often shaped by culture, media, and the opinions of others. We are told that if we do not match this picture, we are failing. So we push ourselves harder. We hide our mistakes. We wear masks. But no one is perfect. Even the most admired people have doubts, fears, and regrets. Behind every smile is a human being with pain and struggle just like you. When we believe we must be perfect, we live in fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of being seen. Fear of making a mistake. This fear keeps us from living fully. It keeps us from being real. But what if you didn't need to be perfect? What if you are already valuable, just as you are? What if the cracks in your life are not flaws, but places where light can enter? The truth is, being human means being imperfect. It means learning, falling, growing, and trying again. This is where beauty lives, not in being flawless, but in being real. When you let go of the illusion of perfection, you begin to breathe more freely. You begin to relax into your own skin. You begin to live with more honesty and less pressure. And in that space, you may find something even better than perfection: peace. From a young age, we are taught who we should be. We hear messages from our families, schools, and the media. These messages tell us what is good, what is successful, and what is beautiful. Over time, we begin to believe that we must fit into these ideas, and if we don't, we think something is wrong with us. This is how society teaches us to reject ourselves. It teaches us to judge our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts. It tells us to hide our weaknesses and only show our strengths. It teaches us to smile even when we feel pain. We learn to wear a mask. We try to be what others want. We try to earn love instead of simply being loved for who we are. Slowly, we become strangers to ourselves. We forget how to listen to our true voice. But the truth is, these rules are not real. They are only ideas. And ideas can change. You do not have to be someone else to be accepted. You do not have to follow every rule to be worthy. The moment you begin to see these messages for what they are, just messages, you can start to let go of them. It may take time. It may feel uncomfortable, but the path back to yourself begins with noticing how you were taught to reject who you are. You are not broken. You are not a mistake. You have been shaped by many voices, but your true voice is still there, waiting for you to hear it again. When you stop rejecting yourself, you begin to heal. You begin to come home to a self that was always worthy of love. In this world, we are often told to do more, be more, achieve more. There is always something else we should chase, a better job, a bigger house, more praise. It can feel endless. And in this race, we begin to believe that we are not enough as we are. But what if you stopped running for a moment? What if you allowed yourself to simply be? There is a quiet power in saying, I am enough. Not because you have done something great today, but because your existence, your breath, your presence is already meaningful. Being enough does not mean you stop growing. It means your growth comes from love, not from fear. It means you are not trying to prove yourself all the time. You are simply allowing yourself to be fully human with your strengths and your struggles. When you believe you are enough, you treat yourself with more care. You no longer speak harshly to yourself in your mind. You no longer compare yourself to others with the same pain. You can rest. You can breathe. You can feel the ground beneath your feet. This feeling is not loud. It does not need to shout. It does not need to impress anyone. It is quiet, like a soft bell in the distance. But it is strong. It gives you stability. It gives you peace. You don't have to earn your worth. You were born with it. You carry it in your heart. Even on days when you feel lost or unsure, that worth does not leave you. Remember, you are enough. Not someday. Not if you reach a goal. Now, just as you are. Many people believe that being strong means never showing weakness. They try to hide their fears, their sadness, and their mistakes. But true strength is not about hiding. It is about having the courage to be seen as you are. Vulnerability means allowing others to see your true self. It means saying, I don't have all the answers, or I am hurting, or I need help. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of being human, and they take great courage. In life, we all feel pain. We all face moments when we are unsure, afraid, or alone. These moments are not something to be ashamed of. They are a part of the human experience. When we accept our own vulnerability, we open the door to connection, with ourselves and with others. Many of us were taught to protect ourselves by being silent or by pretending. But this creates distance. It makes us feel isolated, even when we are surrounded by people. When you allow yourself to be open, something beautiful happens. Others begin to feel safe with you. Real connection becomes possible. You may worry that showing your true self will make people turn away, but the right people will not turn away. They will see your honesty, and they will respect it. Being vulnerable is not about being weak. It is about being real. It is about standing in your truth, even when it feels risky. And with each small act of openness, your heart grows stronger. Your trust in yourself deepens. That is the quiet, steady courage that comes from accepting your whole self, even the tender parts. Everything in life changes. The seasons shift. Our bodies age. People come and go. Even our emotions rise and fall like waves. Nothing stays the same forever. This truth can be difficult to face, but it also carries great wisdom. Impermanence teaches us that we cannot hold on to anything forever. Not success, not pain, not even the people we love. At first, this may feel sad or frightening, but when we look deeper, we see that this constant change is also what makes life precious. When you understand impermanence, you begin to appreciate the present moment more deeply. You no longer wait for the perfect time to live your life. You no longer take things for granted. You learn to see beauty in what is here now, even if it is simple or small. Accepting change also helps us accept ourselves. You may not be the same person you were last year or even yesterday. That is okay. Growth means change. Healing means change. And self-acceptance means honoring each version of yourself as it comes. Many people try to control life so that they feel safe. But peace does not come from control. It comes from understanding that change is natural. And when you can accept that, you feel lighter. You stop fighting with reality. You may still feel sadness when something ends. That is part of love. But you can also feel gratitude that it happened at all. Nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not sorrow. And that is what gives each moment its quiet beauty. When you embrace impermanence, you begin to live more gently, more honestly, and with a deeper sense of peace. There is a quiet voice inside each of us. It is not loud, like the noise of the world. It does not shout or demand attention, but it is always there, waiting for us to listen. This inner voice is not the same as the thoughts that rush through your mind each day. It is deeper than that. It is the part of you that knows what feels true, what feels right, even when the world tells you something different. Many people lose touch with this voice. They become so busy, so distracted, that they forget how to hear it. They follow other people's opinions, chase goals that are not their own, and ignore the soft guidance that comes from within. But when you slow down and begin to listen, something shifts. You start to feel more connected to yourself. You begin to trust your own path, even if it looks different from others. You learn to say yes when it feels right, and no when it does not, without guilt. Listening to the voice within does not mean you will never feel doubt, but it helps you stay honest. It helps you stay close to who you really are, even in a noisy world. This voice is patient. It does not punish. It gently reminds you of your truth. The more you listen, the stronger the connection becomes. And with that, your confidence grows, not from outside approval, but from inner knowing. You already carry wisdom inside you. It has always been there. All you need is the willingness to listen, and the courage to follow what you hear. In that space, self-acceptance begins to bloom. Each of us carries memories. Some are light and joyful. Others are heavy. We carry old mistakes, painful moments, regrets, and things we wish we could change. These memories can become like stones in a bag we carry every day, unseen, but deeply felt. Sometimes we believe we must carry this weight forever. We think, because I did that, I am not worthy, or I should have known better. These thoughts can follow us for years, even when the past is long gone. They shape how we see ourselves, often in ways that are unkind. But the past is not who you are. It is something you experienced. It helped shape you, yes, but it does not define your worth. You are allowed to grow beyond your past. You are allowed to learn, to change, and to move forward. The things you regret may have taught you something important. The pain you felt may have helped you become more understanding, more human. Carrying the past with gentleness does not mean forgetting. It means no longer letting it control you. It means saying, that happened, and it was hard, but I am still here. I am still growing. You may not be able to erase the past, but you can stop using it as a weapon against yourself. You can meet it with kindness instead of shame. Each day is a new moment, a chance to put down one small piece of the weight. You do not have to carry it all. The more lightly you walk, the more clearly you see who you really are, not a collection of mistakes, but a person who is still becoming, and that too is a kind of freedom. No two lives are the same. Each person walks a different path, with different joys, struggles, and lessons. Yet many of us spend our time comparing our lives to others. We look at what someone else has achieved, where they are, or how they appear, and we feel behind. But your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. It is your own, and it deserves respect. Some people find their direction early, others take time. Some grow through success, while others grow through difficulty. There is no single right way to move through life. What matters is that you are honest with yourself and that you keep going at your own pace. You may feel that you are too late or not far enough. These thoughts are common, but they are not true. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn. Your timing is not wrong. It is simply yours. When you begin to honor your own journey, you let go of pressure. You no longer rush to keep up with others. You start to see your own life with more patience, more trust, and more gratitude. Even your challenges have value. They have shaped your character and deepened your understanding. Every step, easy or hard, has brought you closer to the person you are becoming. You do not need to explain your journey to anyone. You only need to walk it with honesty. Your life is not a race. It is a path unfolding, one step at a time. And when you honor that path, you begin to walk with more peace. You begin to accept not just who you are, but how you got here. We all have parts of ourselves that we wish were different. Maybe it's a quick temper, a deep fear, or a habit we struggle to break. These are often called flaws. We see them as problems, as things we must fix before we can feel whole. But what if these flaws were not mistakes? What if they were teachers? Every flaw shows us something about ourselves. A fear might point to a wound that needs healing. A bad habit might be a signal of something we've been avoiding. Even our anger can show us where our boundaries have been crossed, or where we need to be more honest with ourselves. When you begin to look at your flaws with curiosity instead of judgment, something changes. You stop attacking yourself. You start asking questions like, why do I feel this way? Or what can this teach me? This does not mean you give up on growth. It means you grow in a kinder way. You stop trying to erase parts of yourself and start learning from them. Your flaws become part of your journey, not something that disqualifies you from peace or self-worth. Everyone has flaws. They do not make you unworthy. They make you human. And the more gently you treat them, the more space you give yourself to grow. Your flaws do not need to be hidden. They can be understood. They can become the soil in which wisdom grows. In accepting your flaws, you are not lowering your standards. You are deepening your compassion. You are seeing yourself more fully, and in doing so, you become more whole, not less. Many of us carry an image in our minds of who we think we should be. This image may come from childhood dreams, family expectations, or the messages we see in the world around us. We believe we must become that person to be accepted, respected, or loved. But often, this image is not who we truly are. It is an idea, something shaped by outside voices, not our inner truth. Holding tightly to this should-be self can cause great stress. We push ourselves to meet standards that don't fit us. We ignore what we truly want. We hide the parts of ourselves that don't match the image. And slowly, we feel disconnected from our own lives. Letting go of who you think you should be is not failure. It is freedom. It means choosing to live honestly rather than perfectly. It means asking yourself, who am I really? And allowing the answer to be enough. This letting go may feel strange at first. You may worry that others won't understand. But your real peace begins when you stop performing and start living from the inside out. You are not here to live someone else's story. You are here to live your own. And your story may be quieter, simpler, or different, but it is still deeply meaningful. You don't have to become someone else to find peace. You simply need to return to yourself. When you let go of who you think you should be, you make space to discover who you truly are. And that person, real, imperfect, alive, is already enough. Many people believe freedom comes from outside things: more money, fewer responsibilities, the approval of others. They think, if I just fix my life on the outside, I will finally feel free. But true freedom is not something the world gives you. It is something you find within yourself. Freedom begins when you stop needing to be anyone other than who you are. It begins when you no longer depend on others to tell you your worth. It is the deep breath you take when you realize you don't have to pretend anymore. You may still have challenges. You may still have pain. But even within that, you can find freedom. Because freedom is not about escaping your life. It is about meeting your life with openness. When you accept yourself as you are, without trying to be perfect or to please everyone, you become lighter. You no longer carry the burden of performing. You begin to move through the world with more ease. This kind of freedom is quiet. It doesn't look like a perfect life from the outside, but inside there is space to feel, to grow, to be. Some may misunderstand this freedom. They may think it means giving up or not trying, but in truth, it is the opposite. When you are free inside, you act not from fear or pressure, but from clarity and peace. You are not trapped by your past. You are not trapped by others' opinions. The door has always been open. The key is self-acceptance. Freedom comes when you realize that who you are right now is enough. You can stop waiting. You are already home. In a world that often feels fast and demanding, many people forget how to be gentle with themselves. They push harder, speak critically to themselves, and expect more than they would ever ask from a friend. Over time, this harsh way of living creates deep exhaustion and pain. But there is another way, a softer way. Living gently with yourself means treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer someone you love. It means listening when you are tired. It means forgiving yourself when you make mistakes. It means speaking to yourself with patience instead of blame. This is not weakness. It is wisdom. Being gentle does not mean you stop growing. It means you grow in a way that doesn't damage your spirit. It means you learn to rest without guilt and to trust that you are doing your best, even when things are hard. You are not a machine. You are a human being. You need care, rest, and understanding. You need moments of quiet. You need to know it is okay to not be okay. When you live gently with yourself, your whole life begins to change. You become more balanced. You feel more connected to yourself. You stop chasing approval and start building peace within. Gentleness is a daily choice. Some days it will be easier than others, but every time you choose to be kind to yourself instead of harsh, you take one step closer to wholeness. The way you treat yourself becomes the foundation for how you experience the world. So take a breath. Release the pressure. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to live, to feel, to grow, and to do it all with a heart that knows how to be gentle. Accepting yourself is not a one-time choice. It is a path you walk little by little, day by day. Some days you may feel strong, other days unsure. This is natural. What matters is that you keep returning to yourself with honesty and care. You are not alone on this path. Many others are also learning how to live more gently, more truthfully. We are all walking together, even if our journeys look different. In this shared effort, there is something deeply human, deeply beautiful. Please remember, there is nothing wrong with who you are. You do not need to become someone else to be worthy of peace. You are already whole, already enough, already deserving of rest and love. Even when you feel lost, you are still on the path. Even when you forget your worth, it does not disappear. It is always within you, waiting to be remembered. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm truly grateful for everyone who has supported this channel, whether through likes, subscriptions, kind comments, super thanks, or becoming a member. Your presence here means more than you may realize. It helps create a space where calm voices can still be heard. If any part of this message spoke to your heart, I'm simply glad it reached you. Feel free to return to these words anytime you need them. May you continue forward with softness in your steps and with trust in your own becoming. And may you know, in both quiet and noisy moments, that you are deeply enough, just as you are.